Welcome everyone to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our preview of week number 8. Can't believe it's already week 8. Oh my god, it's already mid. So my wife's birthday is in like 7 days. I got to figure out what I'm going to get her. Like we are now at 911 levels of panic. So we're working on that. We got this.
Jordan, we can offline about that later.
Perfect. That's all I need. With me tonight, as always, is Commissioner Escalante and our Florida State correspondent, Katie. Katie, how are you feeling about Florida State now? Are we feeling better? Feeling worse?
Guys, I'm just happy we had a hot start. I'm telling you,
Okay.
my expectations are pretty low.
That's
all
good.
right. Okay. I think we're going to hit bowl eligibility. That's all I care about this year.
You know, bowl eligibility, going to not even a great bowl, just a bowl locally. What's a good aspirational bowl for in the ACC for y'all?
I mean, I would love to go to the Citrus Bowl. That's very aspirational.
That's very aspirational. Let's
temper that.
I'm gonna work as your therapist here. I'm glad you have big goals. I love it. I'm gonna want to back that off slightly. Can I interest you in a new era pinstripe bowl?
I'm thinking maybe Florida State winds up in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl in Jacksonville or something like that.
That would be good.
So.
Yeah. No, maybe I'm aiming a little too low, putting them in like the Pinstripe Bowl or like the Fenway Bowl. Commish, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to this week because this week it's jam packed with some very, very interesting matchups. We have a name for it. I won't give it away yet, but yeah, this should be a real fun week. Honestly, I last week was fantastic. This week should be quite fun. So yes. I really don't necessarily know what is going to happen this week, and I don't think we have a good bead on the Sickos game of the week yet, and we're still feeling it out right now as we're podcasting it. But definitely, I'm looking forward to this week because I don't know what's going to happen, and that's probably the best week coming up when you can't really foresee what could happen in the future.
What does let's debate Pop-Tarts mean?
So,
what are you debating?
So
this is my
fault. Katie was like, she tagged us in this TikTok video, and she was like, hey, and it's like the TikTok video where this lady says that this should only be the topic discussed on podcasts. Like when guys are on podcasts, they should only talk about what favorite Pop-Tart flavors they have. And this video is like 2 minutes long, and this,
it might be longer. It's long.
I don't know. It was like 2 or 3 minutes long. I think I watched the whole thing, but I don't know. I believe I did. But basically, one gives his Pop-Tart opinion, and then the other guy calls him a basic Pop-Tart bitch, and then the guy counters back with like some really obscure Pop-Tart flavor, and then the other guy was like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "It was a very popular Pop-Tart at the time, and it was like a special Spider-Man edition or some weird thing going on." And so,
it was like some special Spider-Man berry edition.
It was the best one, and he was just going in depth. He's like, and then Katie wanted us to debate our Pop-Tart flavors.
I was mostly joking, but I love that you've taken this seriously.
No, we're going to take it seriously. Why not?
The answer clearly here is this: one, you never toast your Pop-Tarts. Okay, toasted Pop-Tarts are garbage. Nope, they are to be eaten room temperature or colder. Like fridge Pop-Tarts or frozen Pop-Tarts, I'm all about. Certain flavors.
Okay.
Two favorite flavors.
Okay.
Are going to be either just the straight up frosted strawberry. Those are at room temp. Like that's a good one for me.
Okay, solid.
And then if I'm going to throw it in the freezer or the fridge, it's going to be the brown sugar cinnamon.
Okay. The brown sugar cinnamon is also really good. I agree.
Personally, like Pop-Tarts for me, they were kind of like the hurricane goodies that you would have. Like if your power gets knocked out and you're waiting for like a hurricane to hit or something.
Gotcha.
You just eat like the Pop-Tarts. And don't toast them. So I'm used to like untoasted Pop-Tarts, so that I'm not thrown off by that. My mom growing up, it was just like, you cannot have frosted Pop-Tarts. You were like, you are not allowed to have frosted Pop-Tarts because it's junk. And I'm like,
that was the line in your house. Yeah,
that was the line. That's right. I mean, she wouldn't let me have Cookie Crisp.
But the unfrosted was okay.
The unfrosted, okay, they're okay. But the frosting, you cannot go past that. But she was fine. She was fine with the toaster strudel. I don't understand.
This is a really good arbitrary line.
It's ridiculous. Like I am drawing the line in the sand. You cannot have frosted Pop-Tart. I mean, my favorite, again, I'm kind of basic too. The strawberry is great. It's the classic. It's the original. Yeah. The brown sugar cinnamon, that's fantastic. Toasted, untoasted, frozen, whatever you want it. That's like a utility Pop-Tart for me. I'm not a big fan of the s'mores. Like, it's okay. And then I'm a huge blueberry fan. Like, I love blueberries, like
Oh, me
everything.
too. Yeah, I'm with you on
So
that.
the
Yeah.
blueberry Pop-Tart is kind of, I would say that was probably my favorite. I don't have any weird like Pop-Tart flavors. I think there was the one that was the weird one, like the wild berry or something like that, where it had like weird colors inside.
They still have that one. I'm looking at them right now. They still have that one.
Okay, yeah. That one was no. I just go with like the plain stuff. As the guy called us. I guess we're all basic Pop-Tart bitches. So that works out.
Yeah, no, the guys were very heated in this debate, and I think in my mind I pictured Jordan and the chairman having very differing opinions and maybe very heated opinions. But you guys have similar opinions to me, so I like it. I enjoy it. I will say I liked a heated Pop-Tart, but I think that was because I might only got heated or toasted if I was like running ahead for school in the morning in high school. Usually it was eaten in the car or on the bus or like on the way to school, and it was like a luxury if you had time to heat it up. So I think in my mind that was always like a special treat.
We jokingly called when you eat a Pop-Tart untoasted, you were eating them raw. So like raw Pop-Tarts, yeah, just untoasted. They're just raw Pop-Tarts. You thought we were going to get heated the one time I'm just saying the one time I got heated with my former roommate Al. We just like bickered over like the Samoas versus Thin Mints like one night for like 5 hours straight.
That'll do it.
And I was just like, oh my god, no. And then you try to like lay you try to like, okay, well, if you like coconut, then you'll probably prefer and then lines are drawn, it gets out of hand. I don't want to go down that road again. I'm sorry.
The argument that I always get into is the Samoa versus the Caramel Delight. Because I live on a fault line between both bakeries, the Girl Scout troop bakeries, so I can get from both bakeries. Yeah. So I can get from both bakeries, and I really prefer Samoas to Caramel Delights. And there is a difference. There's a fundamental difference. There's a difference between the Thin Mints between both bakeries. They're very different. And so I have like Girl Scout knowledge in both areas because Fort Worth is in one area and Dallas is in the other, so I can get both kinds.
Do you purposely make separate trips for these different ones?
Yes, because they're different.
Okay. I didn't even know there was a fault line of Girl Scout cookies.
There's a map.
This is what I wanted.
There are maps about this.
This is what I was hoping for, Jordan. Thank you. That was a gift.
I had no idea what he just said about a fault line and bakeries. I'm like, I didn't know there was.
There are two Girl Scout bakeries, and they have very different things. They sell sometimes their stuff is completely different. Some of their things, like I was saying, the Caramel Delight versus Samoa thing, I thought I was being gaslighted when I was in college because people kept bringing me these things called Caramel Delights that I'd never seen before. I was like, these aren't good. I want a Samoa.
I need to find this dividing line. Is there like a map of this?
Yeah, hold up. Let me find it real fast.
Okay.
Girl Scout cookie.
I'm very confused.
Bakery map.
There's a dividing line?
I had to stop talking about this in Camels because I get so pissed off.
This is what I wanted, Jordan. This is exactly what I wanted.
I would get so pissed off.
We're totally off topic.
In the Discord, I don't know how old this is, but this is like these are very specific fault lines.
Okay. So Jordan, I have a question. Mm-hmm. When growing up, we always had Samoas, and they're my favorite.
Yeah.
And then we started having Caramel Delights in Florida, and I can't find Samoas here anymore. Did they switch like our distributor maybe?
Yeah, so each troop can pick their bakery, from what I understand.
Got it. Okay,
and based on a bunch of things, or each area of the country, and
this
so
map is confusing as hell.
I know. I agree.
So I live in a different zone for cookies now than I did growing up in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay, but like the other half of Louisiana is a different bakery too. So I may have had different cookies when I was in North Louisiana for school. Yeah, I am very confused by this, but thank you for bringing this to my attention. My mind.
Don't worry. Off-season content. I will buy boxes from both bakeries, and I will eat food live on this podcast, and just me crunching, going, "This is tasty."
I'm gonna need to source both of them now because I don't know that I would know the difference. Yeah, I need to know about this.
I'm gonna send one more picture to the Discord. And it shows the difference between the pictures between a Caramel Delight and a fucking Samoa because they're very different.
Oh, you're right.
They're very different.
Yes. Now that you point this out, yes, I've seen the difference. I can. Yeah. Okay.
I said, and if you look at the Thin Mint one, you've probably noticed a difference on the Thin Mints too. Mm-hmm. One of them's more like a cookie, and the other one is like dipped in chocolate, and they're very, very different. Jordan, the fat kid, has opinions on cookies. Surprise, surprise. This is what Jordan does.
Welcome to the Sickos podcast. We have insider knowledge, very sickos about Girl Scout cookies. So,
hell yeah. So, Katie, you're going to an F1 race this weekend.
Yes, I have become an F1 fan, which I feel like a lot of people have during COVID. I have gotten my sister into it, who might actually be into it more than I am now, and one of my close friends. And we are going to our first F1 race. We're going to Austin. I'm really, really excited for a few reasons. One, Latifi, his last U.S. race. So exciting. I get to see it. Also, Daniel Ricciardo's possibly his last F1 US race, which is kind of sad. I would love to see him race in Vegas. But my favorite thing lately, Williams drivers are apparently doing some meet and greets, including a meet and greet at the Pflugerville Home Depot on Thursday. I will not be in town early enough to go to this, but I need for someone to go. Jordan, if you're close enough, I might need you to go.
Man, God, I kind of want to go.
You should go.
So it's Thursday, right?
So I've been to this Grand Prix before. I went to the inaugural one.
Okay, great.
Back in whenever that was. Okay. I've been to this one before, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great track, and it's a fast track and a lot of fun. But yeah, F1 being at like the Pflugerville Home Depot. If you guys don't know, Pflugerville is like the quintessential Austin suburb of like 20 years ago. Like it's not like the up and coming one. It's the one that had up and come.
Which is maybe appropriate for Williams?
Yeah, no, that's actually, in retrospect, super appropriate for Williams. God.
Alanis King on Instagram, or excuse me, on Twitter, maybe on Instagram too, keeps posting that she hopes there's pictures of Latifi in front of the washing machines. And I don't know why, but it keeps making me laugh every time she posts it.
It seems appropriate. Yeah. It seems very appropriate.
Gonna be inside, like, just checking out
that's what I want to see. Like him, just like looking at the washers, being like, "Oh, maybe gotta fix my car. Gonna need a 3/4 inch."
Latifi watching the Pac-12 network on the fridge. Yes, that's what you want. Latifi eating string cheese, watching the Pac-12 network.
Hell yeah! The only way to watch Stanford and Arizona State is standing in a shirt and my underwear, eating handfuls of string cheese or pudding cups out of my fridge.
Nicholas Latifi's secret Pac-12 fan. I love it.
The next question is: would you buy grass from a field on eBay if your team won a big game? Because we've seen bits of grass from Neyland go up after the big win. I haven't seen the checkerboard hunk go up yet.
Well, I wonder if they slice the checkerboard hunk and definitely trying to maybe maximize their sales on eBay.
Is this like pieces of the true cross where everyone's like, oh, this is a piece of of Jesus' true cross, and there are enough pieces of the true cross to build like 40 crosses?
So
is that what this is like?
The picture included on these posts with eBay, it's like a guy at the stadium, like holding his hand, and there's like little bits of grass in his hand, and like is that real? Did he put like his hand in front of a green screen with like grass clippings to do this? So they're selling this grass. I don't, let me check live to see if I can see where it's at right now. But there was one that they listed for buy now, and the buy now price was $65 and $5 for shipping. Let me see here.
That feels right.
There's more. There's more of it. Here we go. All right. So let's see here. We only had 4 previously. Now there is, let's see here. We're looking at I see about 12 right now on eBay, where one person is undercutting right now. Has dropped the buy now to $24.99 for the buy now
capitalism,
price.
All right? This is capitalism.
Now there's another one that was already out there right now that has bids. It has 15 bids right now. Still 4 days left. It's up to $34. So there's a couple up to bids, 10 bids, $13.50. I really love this guy's like hand with the grass. It just to show that it was grass from the field, but like he's not even on the field. Okay.
Do you guys know about Florida State's sod cemetery?
No.
Okay. I'm sending this in the Discord as well. So it has its own Wikipedia page. We have a sod cemetery where when we win big road games, they take a chunk of the field and bury it in our sod cemetery. And so it's been there at least since I was a student, probably before that. I think since the 80s, probably in that Wikipedia article.
62.
62, so a really long time. Which it just makes me laugh that they're doing this because it's like they're doing the sod cemetery, but a knockoff, not the right way version. Like you shouldn't take your home field grass, leave it. But they take down their own goalposts and put them in the river. So I mean,
Gonna say here, I'm already seeing this big win for Florida State in 1976. They beat North Texas State 21-20 and took a piece of Fouts Field, the old decrepit stadium at North Texas, and took it.
I almost got excited because that's when my dad was there 77 and 78, not 76, but still great. So great.
There you go. God bless.
So one of the eBay usernames, it just made me laugh. It was in his glory. I won't give the numbers attached to that, but just
don't do that.
In his glory. So
praise be. This week for games, I think we're calling this Coin Flip Chaos Week. Our good friend Parker at Stats of War on Twitter always puts out great previews of all the advanced stats for games. And Commish noticed this week that there were a ton of games that were all within about 5% win probability, and the scores were all super close. We have some really weird games that are going to be, or supposed to be, very close matches.
That's right. So we're gonna let me. Can you put like an echo on my voice when I do this here?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I don't know. Coin Flip Chaos Week.
There we go.
Okay, we'll do that.
Jordan, put an echo here. Note for Jordan.
Put in echo here, like you meant to mention that Walker Beatty, the offensive lineman for UTSA, and you forgot.
I did. But,
yes, definitely. Shout out Walker Beatty. But the D lineman that flipped the O line. Yes, great. Yes, beautiful. The thing that I noticed when I was going through the projections and doing my Sickos, like listing the Sickos, potential Sickos games of the week, and just doing like the list of like 40 some odd games, or maybe a little bit less than 40. I started to look at these previews, and I started to notice that there were so many games that were incredibly close. So it seems like it's just going to be chaos between all these really, really evenly matched teams. And the list of the teams that are evenly matched were quite hilarious to us, because like you'll see some of them, you're like, what? And then the other ones were like, okay, that makes sense. And then others like, what? How is this on this list? And then they're projected like this close. It's kind of crazy. So before we get to that, we're gonna talk about the Wednesday game, because we'll preview that one, and hopefully not jinx another team. Sorry, Marshall, last week. We jinked you.
Oh man, we all went hard on Marshall, and
we went the game day route, and basically we like memed ourselves. We all picked the same team, and we all lost. So we'll pick this one, and then we'll go with the coin flip chaos after this.
So our Wednesday night game is Georgia State at App State. Georgia State has kind of been on a heater this year, been playing really well. App State has stumbled since their kind of hot start. And we have two teams, one on the up, one on the down, and should be interesting. This one's in Boone. Because it's on Wednesday, and we'll talk about it Thursday. What are your bets on the score, guys?
So I know Georgia State has, was playing like incredibly close games, and they lost their first 4. Then they got off the snide, and then they beat Army, and then they beat Georgia Southern, which is fantastic. Now they got another essentially rivalry game, because it's the Sun Belt beast, so to speak, on the road at App State. App State had a bye essentially after they got drummed by Texas State. They're back home at Boone. It's a weird Wednesday night game. I'm going to be contrarian. I'm going to pick Georgia State here, but I'm going to say that it's a weird game, and the final score is going to be 34-32.
34-32. Okay.
Totally wrong. So don't, when you hear it, it's totally wrong. I messed up.
I'm going to go App State 35-24.
I'm going to go App State as well. I'm going to say App State actually wins this one by quite a bit. I'm going to say 35-21.
Oh, I like that. We're all very close. I like that.
All right,
Sorry,
that's
Matt.
good. At least we didn't all pick the same team this time, so we may want somebody's gonna get it right at least. That's good.
So I was in Vegas last week and was flying to Vegas and had a connection in Salt Lake City. I get off the plane in Salt Lake City and I see a gentleman wearing an App State hat. And of course, me being the college football sicko that I am, I need to talk to him about App State. And so I go up and I said, "Oh, are you an App State fan?" And he said, "Yes. Why are you?" And I said, "No, I've been enjoying your season." And he said, "Oh, really? Tell me more." And I said, "Well, I enjoyed your win over A&M and, your close games or whatever." And so anyways, we talked for a moment and he was like, "Wow." He's like, "Well, are you what kind of fan are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a Florida State fan, but I watch like all football." And he was like, "Oh, okay." A little thrown off by this whole thing. I go to get on my next flight from Salt Lake to Vegas and he's on that flight as well. So he gets off that plane and he's like, "I didn't realize you were on this flight with me." And anyways, it was very entertaining because he was like, "Oh, you really love football, don't you?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I watch all of it." Yeah. All of it, buddy. All of it.
Thursday night let's hold up. What is the NFL putting on Thursday night? We can decide really fast how good this is going to be.
It's the Saints and Cardinals.
No one watched that. Toss that one away, guys. I got a heater for you. We got Troy at South Alabama, Battle of the Belt. This is one of our coin flip chaos games of the week. Predicted score, Troy 34, South Alabama 25. This should be an absolute heater.
34-35, which is just, it's going to be nuts. It's the Battle of the Belt. It's two hated rivalries. Rivals. I think they're within like an hour of each other.
They're real close.
In Alabama, I think Troy doesn't have like a direct interstate there, but it's Mobile to Troy. And oh man, they don't like each other, and South Alabama's been having a great year. Troy's been very feisty. Troy's been great also. So I think it's like 5-1 or 6-1 versus like 5-2. So it should be some great football on Thursday night. So that's going to be fantastic. No, it's 5-2 Troy and 5-1 South Alabama. So
there you go.
This should be fun. And in the battle for the belt, like whoever wins, they get like a championship belt, like a wrestling championship belt that has both teams on it. We don't know how much it weighs, but like a championship belt, maybe we're gonna guess around 20 pounds.
They're not super heavy.
They're not too heavy. This will be a great one. And the Sun Belt, Fun Belt. This is some of the Sun Belt West. Everybody gives like the Sun Belt East like the best side of the conference, but this is the best of the West.
And they're all in the West now. They used to not be. This actually used to be the split in the Sun Belt, which was between Troy and South Alabama. So they were actually in different conferences before this year. So this is their first year as an interdivisional rival.
Same division. Welcome.
There is another coin flip game at the exact same time that you probably should not watch. If you have Troy and South Alabama on one hand, I'm going to nudge you away from Virginia at Georgia Tech. Thursday at 6:30 on actual ESPN.
What is wrong with you? Like, we're the sickos. We have to watch this. Like, why are you nudging people away?
I'm just saying that if you get a screen, if you have one screen, guys.
Okay.
That screen goes on to Troy, South Alabama. If you have two screens, then put on Virginia at Georgia Tech. If you have 3 screens, we'll find you something else. Don't put on the NFL.
I'm just saying there's a lot of ACC slander going on here, Jordan.
There's a lot of
ACC slander.
As I edit these podcasts, I realize that I have certain things that I keep coming back to. Man. ACC slander comes up a lot in mine. It's lot in mine.
You really, you really love that. And then the weekly ACC network update, which we'll
get there in a second too.
We'll get there in a little bit. All right, we'll get there.
I love that. Give us an update because no one's watching it.
We're just angling for the Sickos ACC, game of the week.
I gotta tell you where you can find Miami, because Miami is being buried on all the regional networks every week now.
Again, I don't know why they keep doing this. So Mike Ryan and Le Batard show must be upset. I don't know what they did. They're just trying to hide the Hurricanes away. Yeah, this one's nuts. So like the win probability, like UVA's 51.26%. The win probability for Georgia Tech is 48.74. The projected score is basically, when you round, it's 24-24.
Yeah,
so it's almost like a projected overtime game that probably nobody wants to watch. And don't denigrate the Saints at Arizona, because you get to watch like an injured Andy Dalton quarterback the Saints versus Kyler Murray and the Cardinals.
Virginia and Georgia Tech are tied in the series 21-1. So this is sort of as even as it can go. Over the past 8 games, in fact, the series is tied.
Wow.
So this is two rocks hitting each other, and hopefully one of them moves slightly. Friday night got much better things in terms of things that I want to watch that aren't ACC slander. First off, 7 p.m. CBS Sports Network, which means we get the music.
Yes, get the music.
UAB at Western Kentucky. Another coin flip chaos game of the week. If they don't wear the big red helmets, I will fight God. Those things are amazing. Put big red on the helmets. Don't tease us like that.
There was like
Just do it.
There was like 5 different options that they were
I don't know.
giving us
I don't care.
helmet.
I saw. You know what I saw? I saw a big red on the helmet holding a football. He's holding a fucking football. He looked great.
He looked like he was throwing it. He's got great form. Maybe the Saints can deploy him at quarterback.
He did not have great form. He did not have great form, but that's okay.
Didn't UAB have really good helmets at one point with like the big? They're dragons, right? Is it dragons?
No, Blazers. Yeah,
Blazers. Right. Okay,
it's dragon. Yeah,
they had those helmets with like the big dragon on the side of it, right? At one point, yeah, these are good helmets. Yeah.
This one again, predicting a score of 31-29, Western Kentucky over UAB. This is gonna be a great game. I'm excited.
Coin flip.
Coin flip.
It all depends. The win probability changes if you put big red on the helmet, Western Kentucky.
Yeah,
because it goes to 100 if you put big red on the helmet.
If you put them on the field, even more.
Yes.
Don't they have the water tower right behind the stadium too that has big red on it?
Yes, you love that.
Just do it, Western Kentucky. Put big red on everything. You have this beautiful, wonderful thing. Put them on everything.
More big red.
It.
Do you know what he needs? Holy shit! Idea. TM. One of those old school like ice cream pops. Instead of like a Ninja Turtle face, it's big red.
Yes.
With gumball eyes. Also on Friday night is an FCS game that we are paying attention to. We have at Long Island University, the Sharks.
Yes.
At Wagner.
Great.
This is a New York City battle. Wagner, the Wagner Seahawks? Yes.
They're the Seahawks. That's right. It's Long Island versus Staten Island, baby.
Yeah, Strong Island, baby.
I love this.
Both teams are 0-6, and Wagner's last win was in 2019 against Long Island University. So this is going to be a New York City brawl to decide who is New York's one true team. Finally. That's right.
Finally. So
we'll finally know.
The Sharks are playing at Wagner. I looked up Wagner Stadium. The capacity is like 3,300.
It's a really cute little stadium.
It's nice. I like it. It's got a nice.
It's cute. Probably not what you want someone to say about your stadium. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's cute.
You just angered all of Staten Island. All right, I'm just gonna say that.
Come at me, bros. Come at me.
You'd be like, whatever. You got to take a ferry to come get me. You know.
I mean, I think I'd rather anger Staten Island than Long Island. There's a lot more people.
For sure,
Island, right?
For sure, yeah.
I'm pulling for Long Island too because I just love Long Island. Strong Island, yeah, for sure.
Just gonna say we have the LIU Sharks.
Yes.
And what is a Seahawk but basically a Jet? This is our West Side Story. This is our West Side Story Bowl.
Sharks and Jets.
That's basically canon now. I'm declaring this the West Side Story Bowl.
Guys, we should tweet at their socials accounts and start calling it the West Side Story Bowl. They would adopt it, right?
We go on to Saturday. Saturday, 11 a.m. Big Ten Network because it's too hot for network TV.
That's right.
Indiana at Rutgers.
Yes.
Rutgers is favored.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. No, that was a great response. Rutgers is favored. Really? Oh, okay, sure. Hey, whatever.
I'll buy it. Sure. Not by much. Not by much, right? Not by much.
No, not by much.
Okay. Did they get like the home field advantage of like 3 or whatever? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But this is also Rutgers under the offensive coordination of our boy Ambrosio. What's his actual name?
Nunzio Campanelli.
Oh no, who's Ambrosio then?
That's the kicker that went to Tulane.
That's the Valentino. Sorry, this is Nunzio. That's right, Nunzio Campanelli. Nunzio
Campanelli. I love it.
Yeah, Nunzio Campanelli.
He's a Ferrari fan and will be pulling for Ferrari during the F1 race this weekend.
Guarantee you, Nunzio's a Ferrari fan. Guarantee it.
Love it.
Indiana goes to Piscataway on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
No one walks into Piscataway at noon and expects to walk away with a win.
Projected score is 21-20. So Rutgers wins by a point. So I love these projections. They're just so close. It's ridiculous. We don't know if this, last week we thought it was Indiana's 700th loss. So this would probably confirm it, I think.
Yeah.
If they lose this one to Rutgers, it would seal the 700th for
okay,
sure.
For every game left in the season, I'm just going to tweet out again that it's their 700th loss. I'll cover it at some point. At some point, we will be correct. At some point, we'll be correct.
That's about right. Yeah. Instead of like trying to dig further, we'll be correct at one moment.
Also, the Big Ten, 11 a.m. on Fox, big noon Saturday. Iowa is going to Ohio State. This is not a coin flip chaos game.
No, it is not. It is definitely not. So the projections, I think Ohio State is what 98.4% chance that they win. Yep. Iowa has a 1.6% chance for the Hawkeyes. I had a premonition. I did an interview earlier this week, and in the interview, I had a weird feeling about this game. There was a premonition, which it's probably not going to come true, but if it does, I look like a genius. But
you do, yeah.
I'm
always call your shots. Call every shot.
Again. And so I'm just going to say this. It's going to look really ridiculous in hindsight, so it's great. I have Iowa winning this game 12-10.
Okay, if that happens, they're going to burn down the horseshoe.
Seriously.
Like Ohio State will torch it just on principle.
So it's going to be a defensive touchdown for Iowa. They take the lead 7-0, right? Ohio State ties it. Iowa gets a field goal. It's 10-7. Iowa then blocks a punt to make it 12-7. And then Ohio State gets a field goal in like the third quarter, and it's a scoreless fourth quarter. No action whatsoever. Iowa holds on the win, 12-10.
I mean, Ryan Day's face is going to be even redder than it already is. Like, his head's going to explode if this happens. Wow.
Now, this is not going to happen, but I don't know why this came to me. And, for some odd reason, this speaks to me like the bye week for Iowa did not go well. And for some strange reason, I just feel like Iowa's just going to try to pull down Ohio State to their level. And Notre Dame kind of did it to Ohio State. I don't know if Iowa has the athletes to do it. And I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but this is the Sickos podcast. If it happens, I look like a genius. If it doesn't, it's just a stupid prediction that had no shot, really. 1.6% chance here.
There are 4 units on this field. Let's not count special teams right now. There are 4 units on this field. There's Ohio State offense, Ohio State defense, Iowa offense, Iowa defense. One of those 4 things is not like the other. Okay? Which one of those 4 things is not like the other?
Iowa offense.
The Iowa offense is a problem.
Yeah, if it comes out 12-10, I don't know why. It's going to be a field day for the account. We're just never gonna. I don't think we'll ever top it.
I was going to say this is going to be the peak moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be the peak of the season there. So if that happens, again, I'm just putting it out there. Again, low percentage chance, but why the hell not? Just speak it, and maybe it comes true. Maybe I have some sort of Sickos committee podcast powers or something. Who knows?
I like it. Also, as 11 a.m. is a packed spot, by the way, guys, because 11 a.m. we also have Syracuse at Clemson. I think we've decided that Syracuse is good. We will now find out if Syracuse is great. Because if they can beat Clemson, that's going to be a good sign. And here's the thing. This has happened before. A less good Syracuse has beaten Clemson. Now, that was in Syracuse. This is at Death Valley. So this is a lot less whatever. Yeah. But should be a great game. I'm excited to see what Syracuse looks like against this competition.
Yeah. I agree. My parents, I saw my parents earlier today and they were talking about this game, which my parents literally should be are honorary members of the Sickos committee because they're very excited about this game. I was like, really? This is a game we're excited for this weekend? Mm-hmm. But yeah, my mom was saying, she's like, I think we're going to find out if Syracuse is really good, which I guess is her version of great.
Yeah.
Is Syracuse, you should put it on the graphic, is Syracuse really good?
There we go. I'll literally just later it in.
Jam it in there. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
And make the really like flashing. Nothing else. The whole thing is good. Yeah. No, it'll be a good test. I'm excited. I love it for Dino. I like Dino Babers a lot. I think it's great.
We also have other ACC action at 11 a.m. and I'm going to pick up my slander right now. Here we go. Here's some slander.
Let's go.
On the ACC regional network,
we
have Duke at Miami. This is Miami's second week on the regional. I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to hide Miami football from us. National treasure Miami.
It's not pretty, so I mean, can you blame them?
Ooh, that's that Florida State fan coming out.
That's true.
So time for my favorite segment. What are we showing instead of ACC football on the ACC network?
Oh, let's do it.
At 6 a.m., like you wake up, there is a show about Miami and Coral Gables. finding historic spots, popular restaurants and establishments. At 6:30 a.m., you have ACC Traditions Pittsburgh, where you got Tony Dorsett talking about his season. At 7 a.m., we get a replay of last year's Clemson-Syracuse game. At 10 a.m., ACC Traditions Clemson. They talk about Clemson's stadium. At 10:30 a.m., you get last year's Wake Forest versus Boston College game.
What?
At 1:30 p.m., you have ACC Traditions Wake Forest, quote, a closer look at basketball and golf programs at Wake Forest University.
Oh my gosh.
So we're looking at Wake Forest golf and basketball instead of Duke and Miami on the normal ACC network. There's got to be some sort of like contractual tie-in here. There's no way they're making this decision.
There can't be, because there are actually only 2 games on the ACC network this weekend.
Okay, all right.
At 2:30 Central, we have Boston College at Wake.
Okay.
And at 7 p.m., we have Pitt at Louisville.
Oh,
guys, I think I'm gonna apply for director of programming for the ACC network. Good gosh,
yes, you may need to.
My new job would be great.
Just being on this podcast qualifies you for this. So,
absolutely.
Put this on your resume.
Put us down as references. We're fine.
References.
We're fine.
Guys, can we make that my new Sickos title, director of ACC network programming?
We got it.
Done. Sold. We will make you put it on.
Putting it in my Twitter profile now.
Put it on the Twitter profile. Put it on your LinkedIn if you got one of those.
Yep.
Just go right ahead.
I'll put future director of ACC network programming for now.
It's
don't want to be too
aspirational.
presumptive.
It's
It is
aspirational.
aspirational.
Yes.
Also at 11 a.m. on an honest-to-God real national broadcast.
Yes.
The ULM Warhawks are going to be on real TV.
Well, I mean, they were on NFL Network last week.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right.
I mean,
My bad.
Which is like real TV.
That's real TV. You're right.
That's real
the
TV.
Big Show. You made it to the Big Show.
But this one, ULM gets that CBS music, baby.
I need. Okay, I'm
Terry
projecting this in the world. In the world right now.
Yes.
I need a picture. I need a video of Terry Bowden pumping his fist on the sideline as we get the CBS music over it. Just give me that, and I'll clip it and I'll use it forever.
All right, we can do that. We need ULM to do well against Army. They're both 2-4, so Army's fallen on a little bit of hard times, but they've played a pretty good schedule. Army did beat the crap out of Toothpaste last week, so they're ready for there. They took out Colgate, and they just ran all over them. ULM's run defense has been okay. I don't know if they're ready for the option. South Alabama passed all over them. So maybe they can handle the Army run in the option. At least I hope. So I'm going to put a bet out there to try to stop the losing streak for ULM here. If ULM beats Army, make me do something patriotic. I think a little Lee Greenwood. Okay, I think that's what's going to be.
Jordan, literally what I was thinking. This makes my heart so happy.
Here we go. A little Lee Greenwood on the podcast. That feels it.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Done.
You're gonna have to sing it.
I'm not singing the full thing. Just maybe like a verse or something.
That's fine. I'll get you.
No.
All right.
The whole thing. Okay, the whole thing.
Come on.
Whole thing. You're right. Whole thing.
Hold the line. Come on.
Whole thing.
Whole thing. All right.
What should make you feel good about this is that the ULM defense has been pretty bad, except for their run defense.
I know. That's what I'm hoping.
That's the one thing they got going on that's been pretty good. So unless Army just decides to start passing all over them, which, let's be honest, could be it. Mm-hmm. But the run offense versus ULM's run defense is actually the most interesting matchup at this game for sure.
Okay, 2 things I need to mention.
Okay.
Number 1, Commissioner, my mother has been very invested in you guys winning for some reason. I think she likes Terry Bowden. Also, she loves to see Alabama lose, so that's why she was invested with the tattoo before. I feel like she's going to be very invested in the Lee Greenwood situation.
Okay.
Also, when I was in Vegas last week and went to watch the Bellagio fountains, which is one of my favorite things in Vegas, they played Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA, for one of the songs with the fountains, which I've never heard before, and it was incredible. I was loving it. I was just loving it. I felt like that was a great little surprise. Because they usually play Sinatra or something very Vegas, but it was great.
My senior year blow off class in high school was chorus. So I was a baritone and I had to sing this song. So I know it well.
There we go.
If ULM does beat Army, I will be proud to be an American. So
I'll make sure I have a good karaoke backup track for you too.
Do it.
To go with it.
That's right. From the lakes of Monroe, Louisiana.
There we go.
To the hills of. There's no hills in Louisiana.
There's no hills in Louisiana. I think I found out that the highest point in Louisiana is like a state line. At one point, I was looking up the highest points in like all the states, and some of the highest points are just like the state line, like some point along the state line, because everything. I think in Florida, it's like a state line because everything's just downhill from there. In DC, it's like a corner of a park somewhere that's marked by like a marker.
Yeah, I think in New Orleans, it's like in the Audubon Zoo. It's a hill called like Monkey Hill, and it's like I think maybe like 20 feet above sea level.
It's above sea level though. It's above sea level.
Yeah, barely.
I feel like in Florida, actually, it's either Bach Tower or the Citrus Tower. I have to look this up, but continue chatting. It's going to bother me because it's close to where I live, but I'll look it up while y'all talk. Right. Guys, 345 feet above sea level, Britton Hill is Florida's highest natural point and the highest point in the United States of all the states. I didn't know that. Interesting. Right. Okay.
Sickos trivia.
There we go. Learn something. Learn something new every time.
That's right.
Why does Bowling Green keep showing up on these lists, Commish?
Okay, so this is my toddler. I think my toddler has a fascination with Bowling Green. I don't know what it is. So when we start watching the games to start the day, I normally let him pick a screen, essentially, and he picks a game. So he, like 2 weeks ago, he picked the Buffalo and Bowling Green game where there was the hilarious fall down fake field goal that went hilariously wrong, and I was like, okay, this is why. He's the one that like picked St. Peter's to go to the Elite Eight in his bracket.
Oh, that's right, he did. That's right. Yeah. Yes.
So he has this weird thing, and he always seems to pick Bowling Green, and Bowling Green is bonkers. Like their team is nuts. They had a 7 overtime game with Eastern Kentucky, where the lineman tried to convert 1 in 5 overtime. The Eastern Kentucky lineman tried to do that, and I mean, like last week, you thought they would lose. And no, they won. And you have no idea. They beat Marshall. I mean, Bowling Green doesn't make any sense this year. And they're incredibly fascinating. And then they play Central Michigan, who is 2-5 or 2-4, I believe. Lower level MAC teams. But when you get MAC versus MAC,
they're so very, very.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Don't know what's happening in the MAC. Because they all go play these like pay to play games, like the check games and stuff. So when you get MAC versus MAC, you really don't know. And Bowling Green is incredibly confusing, but they're just so much fun to watch.
Another MAC game that is part of our coin flip game, chaos game of the week, or chaos coin flip week of games. Eastern Michigan at Ball State at 1 p.m. on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
Predicting a score of 25-24, Ball State ahead. Ball State, who just had their big comeback win against UConn.
Yep,
so they're on a heater right now, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I mean, Ball State's 4-3 now, I believe. So I mean, this can help Ball State's, the bowling Ball State. Maybe they can make it to the Quick Lane Bowl, something, one of those there, but. Really, it should be a fun game. The Cardinals are always entertaining. In Eastern Michigan, when you see them play on the not gray field,
I'm excited to see them not in their field.
It's always a bit of like a shock when you're like, oh, I'm watching Eastern Michigan, but it's there's color, so it's just very confusing and disorienting, and maybe that confuses Ball State.
Now, after Notre Dame went to the City of Sin and took out the Mormons, the City of Sin is coming for Notre Dame. 1:30 p.m. on Peacock. UNLV is going to Notre Dame. A weird one for October, the middle of October. This is not a coin flip game. Notre Dame should win this. But I said that last week about Notre Dame being Stanford, and that didn't happen. So we'll see if this is their get-right game. Maybe this will shake something loose for Notre Dame.
Do you think UNLV travels with the turnover slot machine?
I hope so.
Me too. I want to see that in Notre Dame Stadium.
But they can't leave it on the sideline. Like, it can't be part of the stadium because it's the Raiders Stadium. I don't see the Raiders running over there. Hey, Raiders, you should go over there and use the fucking turnover thing. That would be a lot of fun.
Great point, Jordan. That's a great point.
They have it on one of those wheeling carts where you just like wheel it out there and you just push it.
And because I'm imagining also, UNLV is not taking like the fancy chartered flights, so this is someone's carry-on, like just trying to like wheel it on the plane and get it in the overhead.
This can't fit.
Just shoving it.
It fit in the fucking thing out there. I'm gonna put this on the plane. Don't tell me to gate check this shit.
Twisting
Do you know who I am?
Or you know that like if they're checking it, they're putting an Apple AirTag on it because someone at that airport's trying to steal that mess.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Definitely. The only thing I'm really curious about this game, you think Notre Dame should win this one, right? I want to know if UNLV's band is traveling to Notre Dame. You know, they got in trouble with the ref against Air Force. So the ultimate cops of Notre Dame definitely not going to stand for that. They will definitely be knocked out.
The old folks at Notre Dame hate loudness. This has been well documented.
I'm just wondering if the band's going to make the trip and then like everybody will just be standing next to them, making sure they don't play when Notre Dame has the ball. Like
very librarian mode.
Their arms crossed, just staring at them. Don't you dare run in Rebels band. Don't you dare.
At 2:30 on CBS, we have an incredibly normal SEC game that will be calm and collected. Yes, the game will be as normal as possible.
Yes.
Ole Miss is going to LSU.
I don't know what to expect for this. I literally don't know. And it's going to be really funny if LSU upsets Ole Miss.
This basically started the coin flip chaos week.
Yeah.
For me. This projection that I saw from Parker at Stats of War, so whenever you go to his Twitter, like buy him a beer or whatever, LSU is projected to win. Their win probability is 50.01%. So like 0.1%. Ole Miss is 49.99%. The projected score is 28.51 versus 28.51. This game will be completely normal. Nobody's going to get upset. Nothing weird is going to happen in this game. You know, Ole Miss and LSU, they love each other so much, and they'll sing Kumbaya in Tiger Stadium. Nothing weird is going to happen in this game whatsoever. It'll be calm. You know, both fan bases really love each other. In the tailgates, they love each other. They love to tailgate. I'll say that.
Yeah, that is true.
But watching the game, they hate each other. But then after the tailgates over, back to the tailgating, they seem to be friends again because there's a lot more drinking. No, I've been to a few of these Ole Miss LSU games, and they're just absolutely wild. It's just they're good people. Like they don't really like hate each other. They get along pretty well, but they don't like to lose to each other. Like. You know, they will needle at each other like all week, which they're doing already on Twitter, which is very entertaining to us. But basically, they seem like they get along well when there's no games involved. Essentially,
I mean, they're like fundamentally as different as they are in terms of like the stereotypes of the school, whatever. They're also bound by heavy drinking.
Yes.
So may your cup be red, or your chalice be, you know,
gold,
a camouflage koozie that you got from a big green egg dealer. We're all the same. Whether your Yeti be light blue or purple. We're all the same when you come down to it. This game is going to be an absolute madhouse. Something's going to happen that's going to. I would be surprised if something catches on fire outside the stadium. I would be surprised if something in the stadium catches fire. I would be surprised if Mike the Tiger decides to just show up as of his own volition this time and he escapes the sanctuary and wanders into the stadium. Another 2:30 game on ESPN that's not going to be nearly as high scoring, but should still be very fun. Purdue at Wisconsin. This one, again, one of our coin flip games. Purdue is estimated to have 24 points and Wisconsin 22. Wisconsin's so on their heels. Even though they look better, I think Purdue has this one. But again, Purdue's superpower is looking like they're good and then absolutely folding on a weird away game.
All right, I want to ask both of you this question. I don't know if you know it. When is the last time Purdue has beaten Wisconsin?
I'm going 90s. I don't know. 97.
Okay.
2012?
2004.
Ooh.
So Purdue has got to get over this hump. And so I don't know if it's like they haven't won at Wisconsin since 2004, but it could be that. But they have not. Purdue historically does not do well against Wisconsin, even though they're favored to win in this coin flip slightly. It's a projected score of 24-22. But yeah, this one Purdue always seems to trip up over themselves when they play Wisconsin. So maybe they get over the hump this time.
It's worse. 2003 was the last time they won.
2003. Okay. All right. I had it.
But they won in Madison in 2003. But since then, it has been heartbreaking loss, sort of mixed in with some absolute blowouts. Your best deal of the week. If you are near Old Dominion University for $5 American, you can go watch Georgia Southern play ODU, which is going to be such a good game. I don't know why. It's their homecoming too. It's ODU's homecoming. It's going to be such a good game. This is at 2:30 on ESPN Plus, a Sunbelt banger. Again, this is one of our coin flip games of the week.
Yeah.
Georgia Southern is predicted to win slightly.
Yeah. Georgia Southern, 51% win probability. ODU 49%. We have the Detmer darling. We may rename it the Van Treese.
Kyle Van Treese, our boy.
Kyle Van Treese. I mean, God, wow. Like just yards, interceptions, touchdowns, everything. The projected score in this one is 35.68 to 35.23. This should be fun. I don't know. I mean, if you're in like DC, whatever, drive down to Norfolk. If you're in Ocean City, Maryland, drive down, catch this game. Go to Old Dominion, come up from Nags Head, North Carolina, whatever.
Yeah, Nags Head.
Nags Head. I don't even.
OBX, baby.
Is that North Carolina or is it?
That's the Outer Banks, baby.
All right, perfect. The Outer Banks. All right.
We call it OBX. Those of us that summer there, we call it the OBX.
Wow. Someone went to Rosemary Beach once, and wow.
Yeah. Also at 2:30, again, a very normal game on ESPN2. Memphis at Tulane. This is another game that is never normal.
It's homecoming for Tulane. These two never play a normal game ever. The local news in New Orleans, they celebrated that Tulane, hey, they're ranked for the first time since 1998. Then one local reporter was just like, nobody's going to show up to this game. Like basically rained on Tulane's parade. Like nobody shows up to Human Stadium. And I'm like, why would you do this? It was so mean. It was ridiculous. And so just one local reporter from one local news station did that. But, we're all in on Tulane. They're ranked. We hope they maintain the ranking. But Memphis is going to be feisty. Memphis is coming off of a 4 overtime loss to East Carolina. Memphis had that crazy loss to Houston.
Yeah.
Again, so Memphis is coming off to back-to-back crazy, insane losses. Maybe it's a third in a row crazy, insane loss. I don't know. But it's going to be fun and definitely must-see TV to watch the 25th ranked Tulane Green Wave. Feels like 98.
Feels like 98. Also, my latest cursed data science had Memphis and Tulane right next to each other. So even though this isn't a coin flip game, for me, it feels like it should be.
Sickos data science has them next to each other, so something... Our sicko sense is tingling on this game. Me being from New Orleans and everybody buying all the Tulane gear is just ridiculous. It's great because I have a lot of Tulane gear, and then when I go back and visit my family in New Orleans, I try to go around like a game, and to go check out Ullman and because my dad and I, we used to go. It was great. Like they would play in the Superdome, and my dad would have me go to the ticket counter and ask for student tickets, like when I was a middle school student and an early high school student.
This is a good strategy.
No, but the fun thing is that every time I did that, a Tulane booster would come up to me and just hand me 2 or 3 free tickets, and we would get in the dome for free every single time.
Even better.
So when I went to Ullman the first time, I was like, "There's no way this is going to happen again." And it did. We got free tickets to go to Ullman. They let us go in. So hopefully they pack Ullman. It'll be wild. They have the giant smoke angry wave there. So hopefully the home crowd will be raucous for them on homecoming.
So. The next game at 2:30 on ABC is a fucking cursed game. Texas is going to Stillwater. I hate this game so much, guys.
Oh, Texas fan.
This is, as a Texas fan, I hate this game. This is the game that gives me nightmares. Any of the really good Texas seasons, this is the one where Oklahoma State's just, oh God.
Your 3 podcasts, here we go. So after Texas beat OU, incredible, braggadocious Texas fan, woo, screaming like crazy. Then you barely escaped Iowa State. You were like, okay, I need to slow it down a little bit. And then now you're cursed Texas fan.
This game is always cursed though. I have very clear memories of Texas perfect seasons almost getting destroyed by Oklahoma State.
Do you feel this is anyone that plays Oklahoma State? Because I feel like the OU Oklahoma State game is also cursed. Oklahoma State's just, I don't know.
No, that was not cursed. Oh, that game is cursed for Oklahoma State because Oklahoma has won 90% of those games. It's just recently gotten okay.
Gotten interesting, yeah.
Yeah, this one's a lot worse. Texas has lost 8 of the last 12.
Ew.
So this is not something that like they're comfortable with. And in Stillwater, Quinn Ewers is going to have a way better game than he had against Iowa State to come out and win on this one, because otherwise they're going to just get run up.
Was that bad Matt Damon movie that I never saw, like Stillwater?
Yeah, that was Stillwater.
Okay, I gotta watch that one still.
I have kin on my mom's side from Stillwater.
Okay,
so like so technically part of me is Oklahoma State. Was what I'm saying here is that when Oklahoma State wins, I'm going to claim that fandom too and say that my real heart was at Oklahoma State.
I'm a Garth Brooks fan, so I'm going to claim it too.
There we go. Exactly right.
Also, I just found out they sing Friends in Low Places in Stillwater. Like, is it every game?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's every game, which makes me want to go. This is on my list of stadiums to go to.
As an Oklahoma State fan, I should know this, but I don't.
Jordan, I'm very disappointed.
I want to go to the stadium. I want to go to Oklahoma State, the stadium, the T-Boone Pickens Stadium or whatever. And I want to get one of those paddles that they have and just smack it against the... Yeah, that's all I want to do. The whole game, I just get me in the front row and I just want to smack the paddle against the padding that is way too close to the sidelines. That's all I want to do.
At 3 p.m., this feels so weird. 3 p.m. on the Team 1 app, that feels fine. Hawaii at Colorado State. 3 p.m.
Coin flip chaos again. Do the coin noise.
Bling, 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 bling. I'm gonna find some good sounds.
Add some.
If I don't, I'm gonna find the worst sounds I can.
Yeah, this one is Hawaii has 49.69% to win this game. Colorado has 50.31 win probability to win this game. So the score is projected 19.91 to 20.02. So this one is just an incredible coin flip. Hawaii has gotten their first FBS win. They beat Nevada. They beat Nevada. And guess who the only team that Colorado State beat was Nevada. So this will really tell the test of time on who beat Nevada more, I guess.
I believe it's pronounced Nevada.
Nevada.
I believe that's the pronunciation they prefer.
Nevada.
So yeah, but here's the best part about this game, guys, is that because you have to watch it on the app, you can't put it on one of your screens. So it's not taking up screen space.
It's gonna be
have it on your phone.
It's gonna be my little phone, and I wonder if we'll get some weird local Fort Collins commercials in this situation, or if it still will be the weird Hawaii commercials where they're drinking gallons of milk on the beach again.
I saw Spam in Kroger today, and I kind of wanted to buy some to make some Spam and eggs. Just feeling that.
I'm just gonna say this: like, I've never had Spam, but I'd be willing to try it. But I'm not gonna.
It's not terrible.
I'm not gonna purposely seek it out and try it. But if it's an option, and I'm there, like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. Yeah.
At 3:00 on the Pac-12 network, because this needed to actually be hidden on the Pac-12 network. Good choice this time, guys. Arizona State at Stanford.
On all of our refrigerators.
on every refrigerator and on your washing machines.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best appliance we could put we could put the Pac-12 network on? Your stove, your microwave.
I think Katie said it earlier.
Water heater.
No,
water heater would be good.
Katie said that you're going to have the Pac-12 network at the gas pump. So
it's true.
This has been a running bit for me.
Yeah,
for a while, because I used to joke that the Florida State game, when we were both bad, which has been a lot recently, was going to be on the gas station pump channel. I pull it out every year, and there's new people that don't see it, and appreciate it. But yeah, gas station pop channel, just put it on there. It's fine. It's fine.
Pac-12 network coming to a gas station near you.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah.
Can I get it? Can I get the Pac-12 network in Modesto, California? No. Can I get it on a gas pump in Maine? Absolutely.
But everywhere else, yes.
Gas pump in Maine. I'm in Boothbay Harbor, Maine, filling up my gas tank and watching Arizona State at Stanford.
Yeah, that's what the people. Larry Scott knew what the people wanted.
That's right. Arizona State again, 49.77% win probability. Stanford,
so
50.23. The projected score is 27.41 versus 27.8. Yeah. So again, another coin flip. We have no idea what's going to happen. Stanford beat Notre Dame last week. Arizona State, I believe, had a bye week after they took out Washington. And I don't know what's going to happen here. I have no idea.
Fun story. When I was trying to sort out my cable before the season started,
Mm-hmm.
I asked for the SEC and ACC networks. I told them that was the only 2 additional things I needed. I had ESPN and ESPN2. And somehow in this whole process that took like 2 days, I ended up at one point with the Pac-12 network and the Big Ten network, but not the ACC or SEC network. And the guy was like, yeah, thank you. Great question.
What package choice did like get you to that point?
Oh, and then at one point, like, so we're all clear, I live in Florida. At one point, they told me the SEC network was not available in my region. And I was like, I need to speak to someone different because I know for sure it is. Like, what is happening? Also, and I think I tweeted about this, that at one point they asked whoever I was on the phone with, I think with the guy who ultimately took care of the whole thing, asked, oh, so who in your household is the SEC fan and who's the ACC fan? And I was like, nope, it's just me. It's just me, sir. And he's like, oh, I shouldn't have assumed. I was like, damn right you shouldn't have.
Damn right you
shouldn't have. It's just
me. I'm sorry. I am a part of the Sickos committee. I want all the channels.
I need all of your channels, sir.
I have a sickness and an addiction, and I need for you to just help me.
That's right. I cannot stop watching college football no matter what it's on. Please give me all the channels.
All of them.
3 p.m. on ESPN Plus, FAU at UTEP. UTEP. Okay, so let's talk about this in terms of the UTEP Bowl Brand Express. 2-2-2. We're on the road. They had a rough their last game before their week off. They lost at Louisiana Tech in a close one. Mm-hmm. They need this game. UTEP needs this game to be bowl eligible, basically. Their remaining schedule is FAU at home, Florida Atlantic at home, Middle Tennessee at home, at Rice, FIU at home, and at UTSA. So they need 3 of their last 5. I think because Rice is pretty good right now, so I think they drop Rice and they drop UTSA. So that means at home they have to beat Florida Atlantic, Middle Tennessee, and FIU, which is totally possible, but they got to get this one. Otherwise, they need a absolute Hail Mary. This is a coin flip game, however, but not quite as close as the other ones. This is our outer bounds of this one.
The projected score is 36-33. The Bowl Bound Express, again, needs this to stay on track.
We need this. You know, it's not like UTSA has this history of dropping their last game of the season against a weird Texas opponent.
No, it's never happened before, right?
I was the best part about that one because if y'all don't know, UTSA dropped their very last game last year against North Texas, and I was actually sitting in Denton at like a cafe with some friends, not at the game, which was my fault because it was raining and I just didn't want to be there. And I kept looking at the score, going, "The fuck is happening?" This is when Seth Luttrell managed to turn his team around for like 5 games. You know what we haven't heard this year? People calling for Seth Luttrell's head yet. Usually by this point in the season, North Texas is ready to fire him. And I haven't heard a single thing. So good on you for going, they're 4-3 right now. Nah, he's fine. Yeah. Whatever. There's no way he gets fired this season. It's fine.
It's all going to be fine.
It's fine. 4 p.m. on ESPN Plus, Southern Miss at Texas State. This is Texas State's homecoming too. Yeah, so this is going to be a close one. This is, again, a coin flip game of the week.
Yeah. Bing! Southern Miss loves to play really close games. The projected score here is 18-17.
Please let it be. Please let that actually be the score.
Yeah, that's a fun score. Weird. And fun.
Southern Miss just won a game 20-19, so this would just be a few points less than that. So we'll see what Texas State's got. I mean, they've been feisty. They beat App. They almost beat Troy last week. Southern Miss is gutting out really close losses. And both of these teams, if they want hopes of like that, the slim hopes of a bowl game, they both need this. So this will be a very, very hotly contested Sun Belt West game.
5 p.m. on Flow.
Yeah.
I'm just making voices for everything.
Flow.
This is going to be this is San Jose State at New Mexico State. Always going to shout out our good boys, the Aggies.
Yeah.
San Jose State coming off of a loss against Fresno State last week, so they may be looking for some revenge on this one.
They didn't play well. It was on the road in Fresno. Fresno's not at full strength again. Like the quarterback's out for the year. Hayner's out for the year. They lost to UConn, but it was a rivalry game that they lost. So maybe San Jose State gets back on track here in Aggie Memorial. Or, I mean, New Mexico State's defense has been good, but I don't know if their offense can do enough. So I feel like this could be a low-scoring defensive struggle a bit, and maybe the Aggies can steal one, or San Jose State gets back on track.
Now for some more ACC slander. At 7 p.m. on the ACC network, we have Pitt at Louisville. Yeah. 2 teams that have looked either like garbage or hot garbage, depending on the week. Pitt's probably looks slightly better. They do have a slightly better win percentage chance, according to our coin flip game this week. But it still looks like it's going to be they're predicting a 22-20 score, which for Pat Narduzzi would be elevating. He'd be elevating at that point.
It's wild that Pitt took Tennessee to overtime and that Louisville beat UCF. Excuse me. It's just wow.
Yeah. UCF, USC, same thing. Again, same team, basically.
Yeah, same thing.
Well, I'm sorry. One of those teams has a national title this decade. One of them doesn't.
Woo! All right.
Guys, I'm going to the UCF Cincinnati game in a few weeks. That's also going to be
a lot of fun.
And please I want to be very clear. I'm not a fan of either team. I'm wearing my shirt that says Stephen Godfrey hates my team to that game. I'm just gonna stir the pot the entire time I'm there. But anyway, sorry. It is wild that Pitt took Tennessee to overtime. Just my brain, that feels like it was another season or something. I don't know, man.
It does.
Wild.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm done with my. I think that's my last bit of ACC slander this week. So we're good.
I mean, yeah, that'll be an interesting game. Interesting.
This one. This is gonna be a weird coaching matchup. Narduzzi versus Satterfield. There were rumors swirling that if Satterfield lost to Virginia, that he was fired. But then he beat Virginia, and then he gets to guide them through the bye week. So,
our evening slate actually slows down a little bit this time. We have a couple of good, fun Mountain West games, but let's go first to the SEC. Texas A&M is going to South Carolina, guys. I don't like A&M's chances here, and I feel bad about saying that.
I don't. I'm very bullish on Beamer. I love him. He's such a fun coach. I would love this so much. So much.
Yeah, I mean, this one's going to be weird, and this is like is this when Texas A&M joined the SEC, this is like their permanent SEC East. So it's their rival in the SEC. So it's a rival matchup, definitely. And then A&M always jokes about this. Like the Aggie fans, they always joke about this. And this one's always a weird game, but going to Columbia, South Carolina at night, hidden on the SEC network, it's weird. It should be interesting. We'll see what Jimbo can do. And I don't know. I mean, South Carolina's feisty. I mean, they beat Kentucky. They got to rest, and then now they're facing the Aggies. So it'll be an interesting one.
Then we have some of our Mountain West nightcaps. At 6 p.m. on the CBS Sports Network, we have Boise State at Air Force. This is another coin flip game. Final estimated score is Air Force 31, Boise 30, which feels about right. We'll see if Air Force is... I don't think Boise's run defense is very good. I'm going to double check that as I say that. Because if that's the case, then this is going to be a very rough game very quickly.
I love Air Force's running back. His name is just Brad Roberts. Hi, I'm Brad Roberts.
That sounds like the guy who was the Air Force like passing leader. Let me find.
No, it's a Georgia quarterback name is what it is.
Hi, I'm Brad Roberts. I have 853 yards rushing and 12 touchdowns this year. Nice to meet you.
There we go. So Air Force's single season passing leader is a guy named Bob Parker. And number 2 is Gary Baxter.
Yeah, that's such an Air Force name.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Bob and Gary.
Brad Roberts, Bob, Gary, and Brad. Definitely the Air Force names. Boise, again, it's a coin flip game. Again, another coin flip game. The projected score is 31-30. Has Boise State solved their offensive woes? Can Boise State stop Air Force's running attack?
Probably not.
I don't know. It's in Colorado Springs. Should be fun. A night game in Colorado Springs. You don't get too many Air Force games at night. No. So this will be a little interesting, and it's on the CBS Sports Network, so you do get the fantastic CBS music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then our final game we'll talk about in detail, Utah State at Wyoming at 8:45 on Fox Sports 2. This one is sort of out of the coin flip. It's Wyoming 59% win percentage, Utah State 41%, estimated final score of 30-27. Wyoming feeling like they're the better team going into this, but Utah State has started to look like they're turning around, like making around the corner. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Utah State changed quarterbacks, and they're looking a little bit better. They were able to gut out a win against Colorado State last week, but it was only like 17-13.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you hold on to that too much. Wyoming is tough. It's tough to play in Laramie. I want to go to Laramie. Like, send me to Wyoming. I want to see a game here. I want to go check out the turf and Wyoming's Pistol Pete with guns, so to speak.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely Pistol Pete with guns. So this would be interesting. I'm looking forward to this. I want to shout out a couple of different Pac-12 games or another Mountain West game too on top of this.
Go for it.
It's San Diego State at Nevada, whatever. We'll do the double pronunciation. Nevada.
It's designer. Nevada. It's designer.
Yeah.
I can't even
in
say
apostrophe.
That right. No, but San Diego State versus both have like really, really bad offenses. San Diego State is depleted at quarterback.
Yeah, they have no one left.
They have not resorted to the Southern Miss Superback. Like, do it, San Diego State.
Come on, Brady Hoke.
Let's go, Brady Hoke. Let's go do the Southern Miss Superback. I mean, just throw in, run the Wildcat all the time, but Brady Hoke's not going to do that. He'll start a safety at quarterback. But this should be interesting, and that's going to be our nightcap. Also another night.
Only 9:30.
That's right. That's our nightcap. Thank you for no Hawaii test. I think I should make it to the end of the games this week. Another one is Washington at Cal. It's on normal ESPN. Washington at Cal. I feel like Cal is going to be really angry after what happened to them in Boulder. So it would be incredibly sickos of Cal to come out and win this game. And
we call to you, Dark Lord Oski. Come forth.
That's right. Come forth.
Come forth, Oski. Come from the cracks in Cal Stadium. Come forth. Rise. Rise from your slumber.
That's good crazy. Pac-12 after dark.
I don't know if you caught that on the mic, but keep that in.
Oh, it's going to leave that in. Sounds like a boxing bell.
Actually, it's like a church bell, an ominous church bell.
Our actual nightcap, though, we got a 10 p.m. kick out in the big sky. Montana at Sacramento State.
Oh, yeah.
Montana coming off of that big loss against Idaho. They're angry. And Sacramento State having their best season in a decade.
Dude, Sacramento State just puts up points.
They look good doing it. Like they look like they have not come. No one has stopped them yet. They look really good.
They look great. I think their lowest scoring game this year for Sacramento State is they put up 37. Yep. That's their lowest scoring game. And that was against the Panthers of Northern Iowa. So I guess Iowa teams like to have good defense.
Just drag you down to your level.
Drag you down to the Iowa level. We will drag you down to Iowa. No, but Sacramento State, I think like 1 week I was watching them play like Utah Tech or something. And Sacramento State was just nonstop. Like just points,
video game
points,
numbers.
Points.
Video game numbers.
It's so that's going to be the nightcap. I think that's on what? ESPN 2. You get it on like normal
Big Sky on ESPN 2. Love to see it.
Big Sky, ESPN 2. There is a little sickos action in the Big Sky too this week. It is 1-5 Eastern Washington. Unfortunately, not on the red field.
Not on the blood turf. Damn.
Not on the blood turf. It's at Cal Poly, who is also 1-5. I believe the coach of Cal Poly. No, it's not Dan Hawkins, right?
I think so. Let me see.
I thought he's at Cal State, but he could be at Cal Poly. I don't know.
How do you not know that I want the football team and not the actual fucking school? What's wrong with you? You know this by now. No, the head coach is a man by the name of Bo Baldwin.
Bo Baldwin.
He is a West Coast man from Santa Barbara. He's 50. He's coached at Central Washington, Eastern Washington, and Cal before.
Okay.
All his assistants. This is his first head job. We wish the Cal Poly, the Broncos? Mustangs. Good luck to the Mustangs. Good luck to the Eastern Washington Eagles. Should be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Bo Baldwin, 3-17 overall as a head coach.
Okay, so he's still getting there. He's finding his sea legs.
Right. Well, maybe, do they have a live Mustang out there in Cal Poly? Maybe that can poop on the field.
Gotta get it. That'll help.
The cups at the SMU game where they were using to pick up. Yeah. Anyways, so
that was great.
I'm glad it was turf. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably made it a little bit easier on them.
Some grounds manager is so pissed this week.
Oh, for sure.
Like just like the folks on the field are just so pissed off. Okay, that's at the end of our list. Katie, you got anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, can I mention 2 things?
Go.
Number 1, speaking of Pac-12 After Dark, last weekend I was at a wedding, and I left the wedding a little early to go watch the end of the Florida State game with my friend Tempe. Shout out to Tempe, who is a Twitter pal. And so we met up at a bar in DC. I was at a wedding in DC. When the Florida State game was over, I mentioned, there's no Pac-12 After Dark. And there was a Clemson fan who was kind of hitting on both of us all night, candidly. And when I said something about Pac-12 After Dark, he overheard it and tried to propose to me. He's like, whatever this is, I want in. And I was like, oh, wow, this is aggressive. This is very aggressive. Okay. She did not want any part of this. It was very funny. He asked for her wedding ring because she's married. And she was like, no, this is a no.
That's creepy as hell.
Yeah, it was very... Other thing, I just realized I'm going to be in Austin. I'm only going to the race on Sunday. So I will be in Austin on Saturday and we'll be at a bar for sure watching the Texas-Oklahoma State game. And Jordan, I'm so sorry, but I will be throwing horns down.
That's fine.
A little bit.
Go for it.
I need to do it when I'm in Austin. If I come back with a black eye, you guys know why.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm telling you. You're not going to get a black eye. You're going to get flagged. Someone's going to throw a flag.
You're right.
Flagged for that.
A 10-yard penalty, a 15-yard penalty.
When I was at the game, the ULM and Texas game, when ULM scored their 3 points, and I was like, they're not going to get shut out. I got excited and said that they're not going to get shut out, and I threw a horns down.
Yeah, you
but
did.
I don't know if anybody saw it.
No, it was pretty low. You threw it.
It was very low.
You knew
it was not high. It was not high. Definitely, I was not confident. Come on now.
No.
But the horns down. The ULM players were coming out.
They were
horns down.
Oh yeah, you have to
just on the sideline. Yeah, it's horns down, and they lost.
It's so satisfying.
Yes,
it's so
it's
satisfying.
Great. You got to
know that I enjoy them more than I enjoy A&M right now because of Jimbo. But yeah, I will be throwing some horns down.
So, Commish, anything else you want to talk about this week?
I think I forgot to mention a few games.
Go for it.
Tulsa at
Speak
Temple.
on your heart, my friend.
Tulsa at Temple. I forgot about that. I can't forget about the Owls. And then we have really, really like 3 or 4 dedicated Temple followers.
We do.
And they are intense. Both Tulsa and Temple, not that great this year. So I think they both only have 2 wins, and that's on a Friday night. So it's a Friday night game on ESPN2. So both of them are 2-4. That should be fun to watch. Hopefully, Temple will put up a better fight. Last game, they had some trouble with the space uniform of USC. Another one I wanted to throw out there for weirdness. My fun thing is like when you go from West Virginia to Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah.
So West Virginia, weird Big 12 game at Lubbock. West Virginia, the Mountaineers coming off of a big win over Baylor. Can they carry that momentum all the way to AT&T Stadium in Lubbock? Which that's going to be a fun one, honestly. And then I think we mentioned FIU at Charlotte previously in the podcast.
I think it was a throwaway joke actually that I made, but yeah.
yes. FIU at Charlotte is really happening this week, so I'll say that. And then I don't think we ever mentioned the vaunted Vandy offense on the road at Missouri.
Yeah.
Can Vandy get their first SEC win in 14 games?
No.
Okay.
I'm not
feeling
it.
If they do, I feel like the Missouri coach is on the hot seat.
Eli, I agree with that.
No, it's not. It's not Eli. It's not Eli Drinkwitz anymore, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, at Missouri, I think it is.
Okay, it's still Eli. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who I thought. I don't know who I thought it was. Man, Eli Drinkwitz is only 39 years old. Damn.
Yes, younger than us.
Good for him.
Yeah, damn. No, not younger than me. I don't know what y'all are talking about. He's older than me. Old folks.
Apparently, the chairman and I are.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I'm a spry.
Yeah.
I'm a spry 38. I'm a child. What are you guys talking about?
Are the elders? Elder statesman. I feel like Godfrey right now, man. Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to let you know that there is a rivalry game that besides the belt, it is Akron at Kent State.
Yes.
It is the blue and gold wagon wheel. I don't know how much the wagon wheel weighs, but the all-time record, Kent State leads I'm sorry, the trophy series. So the all-time series, Akron leads 35-27-2. But once they introduced the trophy, Kent State leads 26-24-1. So once the trophy got involved, Kent State really took this seriously.
That makes sense.
At least Kent State needed some motivation, and a blue and yellow wagon wheel really did it for them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So they were really, really close to each other, like incredibly close, like city wise.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. So last year Kent State beat Akron 38-0. Maybe Akron will have a little bit more fight. They almost beat Central Michigan, and they had that horrible fumble that Central Michigan took back for the winning scoop and score there. But there's a rivalry trophy that we missed. So I apologize to the Goodyear blimp who yelled at us in the mentions one time about Akron's press box being incredibly high up. But that's where Goodyear's from, Akron. So there we go. So that's basically what we got. Why? I guess rivalry wise, I don't think I missed anything else this week. I mean, Kansas is at Baylor. Boston College, we already mentioned at Wake Forest. Toledo at Buffalo. That should be a fun game. Toledo at Buffalo.
Yeah, because the Rockets came back from their 21-0 deficit to absolutely blow Kent State out of the water. That should be fun.
Buffalo and I think Toledo are both undefeated in the MAC.
And Buffalo in those sharp throwbacks.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, guys. Well,
that's all I got.
I think that's our preview for week 8. We will see you guys on the other side of the weekend. As always, enjoy, and we'll see you then.